This is the Newsload.
Hi, I'm Carrie Anne Stephenson, and we're speaking with Manolis Zontanos from Yuck Yucks. How are you today?
Great. I'm doing fabulous.
So what are you doing with yourself this month?
This month? I think I got a couple gigs here and there, and mostly I try to I go to the gym and I try to wake up and shake up all the cobwebs. I started this new thing. I just started it doing today. Apparently, they say it's good for you to get the sunlight directly, to be outside for 10 minutes. So I woke up this is crazy. I woke up at 7 a.m. and I walked around the block for 10 minutes.
Yeah, we're like plants. We need sunlight.
Right?
We need the vitamin D.
I know. I'm always looking for that D.
Oh my God, I set you up and you walked into it. I love it. Okay, so do you remember your funniest heckler that you've ever had on tour?
My funniest heckler? Something happened last night that made me laugh. I thought he's like heckling and being a nuisance to the show. He goes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm an asshole. I'm like, well, I go, the second part's right. But you're not sorry. You are an asshole. That's all you should have said. And everybody laughed.
So this is just a blanket rule. You are being paid to tell your jokes, and someone coming in drunk and, selfish thinks that their jokes are going to be better than you, who have been doing this for what, 20 years?
Yeah, it's exactly it. And that's the thing, though. It's like, it's different. They want to interrupt in inappropriate spots, which makes no sense, because it's like, if I start talking to the audience or something happens organically and we just have a good laugh, that's one thing. But when you're just trying to, it's like, it bothers me so much. What bothers me so much, I'm like, dude, I get it. You want to be a comic, but you don't have the courage to do it. So you want to do it from the stage and thinking somehow it's magically going to happen, where like all of a sudden, like everybody's like, oh, I was so funny. I was funnier than comedians. It's like, dude, just, grab your balls and fucking go, okay, I'm going to try to do stand up. Don't bother Why do you want to bother us? Like, we're just a bunch of disheveled souls that want to, all I want to do is make you laugh. That's all I want to do is make people happy. But I have to have some asshole to try to interrupt the show for no. It's always a dude. It's always a guy too. Usually,
I disagree. There are drunk bachelorettes who, feel a need to be involved in the show. Pick me, kind of thing.
Yeah. Maybe there's always a Karen in the mix. I guess you're right. But yeah, they're all. There's a lot. It's we live in a weird time too. It's like where more and more people. I think it's like. I first started doing stand-up. I remember I'm like, holy shit, I'm going to be famous. I thought that for about a month, maybe a couple of weeks. And I thought, what are you, an idiot? Just do stand-up. Don't worry about that kind of stuff. You can't control that. If it happens, great. But if not, do you love doing this? And then if you do, just keep doing that, But I think,
being blessed to be able to get paid and, do what you love and get paid, and every job has its issues. At least we're not at Walmart needing to be in the return aisle, you know what I mean? And dealing with customers needing to return their air fryers every day.
Yeah, I remember the first weekend I was actually booked was actually London, Ontario, Yuck Yucks. The first time I got officially booked, and I got
with
paid.
With Connie Winkleman.
It was before Connie even, I think. Maybe it was Connie. I can't remember now. I think so. But it was a long time ago. But I remember them giving cash. And I think it was about like $300 for the weekend. Forget how many shows, whatever. But I just remember looking at the cash going, I can't believe I got this from using my brain. Like, it just blew my fucking mind.
And this was in what, 2002?
It would have been, about 2002. Yeah, about that. Yeah. Because I started in 98. And then, but it was like about 3-4 years before I started getting gigs. Yeah.
Yeah. I had just graduated from Humber College for the comedy program, and I was doing open mics at the Yucks Toronto, and that's how we met 20 years ago. And you were hilarious. And one thing I must say, you were polite to me. You were respectful to me, which is very difficult in the comedy scene because everybody's competing for the spot, right? So I really want to thank you for being a gentleman.
Oh, thank you. Oh, it's so nice that you said that. I've always, it's just, I always wanted to say, women are the better species.
Oh, so, keep talking, darling.
But so it's like I automatically just feel like I want to be nicer to women. Does that make sense? But I mean, but generally, I'm just a nice person. I try to live my, I'm not. You're not supposed to be an asshole. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm just being the way I think I should be. It's just easier. It's easier to be nice. It's easier to get along with people. But at the end of the day, women are. I don't know. There's something. It's weird because maybe it's because I like women. Obviously, I'm more than men, but there's something actually magical about women compared to men. Are just so very barbaric. There's always where there's a problem. It's usually because of a fucking guy. But a woman's just to me is just like the definition of peace and beauty. And like it's funny because like the people there's that thing where like it's like you like you shouldn't treat women as objects, or men will look at women as objects. But I think people forget, or women maybe forget. It's like yeah, because they're so goddamn amazing. That's
just
what
like the flower on your table, right? You admire the flower.
An object is something it's like it's different. It's like being it's a different thing if you're being disrespectful, but it's like if something
it's different when you're being treated like an object, like property to be purchased. But
yes.
if you admire, like the statue of David, that's admiring an object that's a thing of beauty and art. So
yes, exactly. And that's exactly. I agree exactly the way you said it way better than I did. But
you're so charming, though. I love what a ladies' man you are. In your shows, the girls always love you. It's so nice to see.
oh, thank you. I'll tell you the nicest thing that ever happened to me. A girl did was a woman or a girl did it when I was in grade. What was that? It was grade 1. I was in grade 1, and
so adorable. You were adorable.
And this girl, she was probably the cutest girl in the class, but I didn't have a crush on her. But she was like also the smartest girl in the class. She was she was always ahead of everybody on everything. And my teacher had this great idea. Well, I don't know if it was a great idea. It was an idea to put all our names in a book one of those books that you put pennies in, like if you're collecting pennies or coins. It's like a plastic page, but all these squares along every row. It's like think of a book that holds cards for like people who collect cards. So it's like collecting coins.
Like the baseball cards, the coin collection. Okay.
So the book is just that. And she put our every kid's name in the book on each row. So every time you did something good, you get a penny beside your name. So eventually everybody had around 10 to 12 pennies. And then this chick I think she was like 20 pennies. She had like 20. She was kicking ass, and she got her 21st penny, and she was going to put it in the book. She opens the book, and she's finding her name, and she just goes, "Hey, where's your name?" I go, "Right there." She goes, "You have no pennies." I didn't have one penny, 0 pennies, and I was okay with it because I was a slow kid, right? And she took her penny and put it beside my name, and I just remember thinking like, "God damn it, that was just the sweetest thing."
What was her name, if you want to shout out to her?
Oh, fuck. I couldn't. I don't.
The prettiest, smartest girl in grade 1. That's lovely.
Yeah, might be Shelly.
Shelly?
I'd have to.
Is this in Hamilton?
Hamilton. I have no idea where she is now. But But I think I mean I could look. I think there might be your yearbook somewhere I could find. I might have maybe. I think. Nah, I don't know. Probably
Shit,
not.
right.
She's gone. I lost. That's where I peaked. That was when I found. That's who. That's the person I should have married right there. But
That 1 year in grade one. That's adorable.
yeah.
Well, I guess this is a perfect thing to ask. I'm single, and I'm
Okay.
working on a whole speed dating event sort of thing, and I have single questions. So here's the scenario that I'm giving you. Okay, a fake scenario. I'm interested in a boy, and
Yes.
the boy doesn't want to get serious. What do you think I should do? Because I really like him. What do you think I should do to try and encourage him to consider getting serious with me? What's your advice?
Have you had sex with him already?
No.
Okay. All right. Don't have sex with him.
Okay.
Okay.
Ever?
Well, unless it's going to go down a road where it's serious. Not serious, but it's like he's interested.
Okay.
Because
so your advice is hold out until he commits.
not commit, but yeah, like where it's like he's like, what is he saying right now? It's like, I'm not looking for anything. I'm not.
Yeah, he just wants to be friends and casual, but he would like to sleep with me, and I obviously don't
Yeah,
want to unless there's a future.
no, because as soon as you have to understand, men, he probably likes you, but he's not in love with you, and
Which
I
is
got
frustrating, Manolis.
it is always frustrating, right? But the problem with men and women, I'm sure a lot of women do know this, but sometimes they just overlook it and think it's like, oh, this time I'll be different. Men lose once they once they fuck you, release, they lose interest. So yeah, they lose interest. So if they're not in, so the, I'm not even saying not have sex with him just because to see whether he's gonna be serious or not. I think it's just wait to the point where like that he's in, like he's actually into you. I'm like, I want this because men's brains are wired. It's weird. Like if I was like, say I had a pretty girl, and I just met her and I had sex with her one night stand, there's a good chance I probably wouldn't call her again or not even follow up on it. But if I was spending time with her and dating her and say a month or two goes by, I probably would
She
want
comes
to.
to your shows and she knows your
Yeah,
world, and she's
yeah,
a fan, but she also is interested in something more.
yeah. You can't care for someone in one night. You know what I mean? Even if she's like, I've had one night stands with like super hot chicks where I didn't even follow up on them because it's something where our brains are just wired in a weird way where guys are just like, okay, I'm good. You know,
Oh,
if he's,
oh.
and I know you want to have sex too, right? But what do you want? I mean, if you got to ask yourself, like, here's the thing. Guys are assholes. Guys are horrible people. So let's pretend you go, okay, fuck it. Let's just be cash. Fine. Let's have sex. And what's going to happen? Say you like bang cash. You see him once or twice a week for like 4 or 5 months, and you're banging him once a week. Let's say at least once or maybe a couple. And this is cool, but eventually you're always going like, you want him to be able to call him and talk about your problems or him be there for you or go to Christmas dinner, all these other things that come along with relationships. And he's just not doing it because you're cash. And then
I've been friends with this lovely Greek man for 8 years, and I would like to take it to the next level. I would like marriage and children. I would like a future with this man, and he says yes, and then nothing happens. Like I'm not seeing a ring, I'm not seeing meeting his mother, like all of it. So, what do you suggest for him to fall in love with me?
wait. You've been dating this guy for 8 years?
We've been friends. We've been social. I haven't slept with him, but we're friends. And he's Greek, so he's romantic. But
Wait. All right. So you guys hang out like, but you're not boyfriend girlfriend. How often do you hang out?
off and on, like I got engaged to a guy for a minute within the 8 years because whatever. But off and on 8 years, I'd say we reconnect and have a drink, every 6 months, and then lately it's been a weekly dinner.
Okay, well, like I say, if you were to have sex with him, like casually, what's going to happen is eventually he might just go like, "Well, I thought we're just keeping casual. What? I don't. What do you? Now you want me to be your boyfriend? I never said I'd be that." And then that
No,
could
I'm
happen.
literally saying to his face, I want to be your wife. I want marriage and children. Let's do this kind of
You're
thing. I'm 41, Manolis,
you're saying that to him,
Yes.
and what did he say?
Yes.
But he wants. Wait. I'm confused. He wants to marry you.
Yes, but he won't do it. Like we're not making it happen. So how do I make him take the plunge, buy the ring, invest in me? And
Well,
he's
maybe.
Greek too, so you know your people, right?
Yeah. Well, maybe just give him an ultimatum. But you have to. I know.
Oh,
Like, are we doing this or not? Because if not, I should. You could say it like this. You don't have to be ultimatum like you're out. You could be like, listen, are we doing this or not? Because if we're not, I should start dating other people. And because I'm 40, I want to find someone,
yeah.
right? And
All
then like
right.
we'll date and hang out and be friends, but we'll just keep it friends then. If you're not ready to
But I
take that,
want him to be my husband. I want him to be the father of my children.
yeah. But how do you? I mean, if he's not gonna, you can't make him.
Yes, I can.
Oh, how?
Vegas. Only see him on my fertile days.
Well, I mean, if you're at that point where you just don't give a fuck, maybe fuck him then. Maybe,
All right, moving on. How
or
do
maybe just blow him. Wait, just give him a hand job. Just give him a hand job.
All right,
Give him-
Manolis, I will take this relationship advice under consideration and get back to you. How do you stay healthy on the road?
Um, that's a hard one. Well, I tend to like to go out during the day. So if I had a rough night, I'll just still like eventually when I'm up, I'll go find somewhere where it's cool to go and go for a walk and check out the city. That's always a good thing. Um,
What's your favorite city you've traveled to?
in Canada,
No, on your tours. It could be in Greece.
for stand-up comedy, my favorite place, one of my favorite, I've been to Sweden a couple times, and so yeah, it's pretty cool. Sweden's really dope.
How are the ladies? Are they lovely?
They're lovely. They're beautiful. And it's weird because Sweden girls are almost like guys and like the way they think. They're like, like if you're like kind of clicking with a girl and then at the end of the night, she's like, hey, like, do you want to go back to my place or your like, they're like, are we going to fuck? And you're like, and it's weird because it's like, you're going, you're like, wait, what? Are you serious? I'm like, you're like, yeah, okay. So they're a bit more like, definitely more open-minded. And
Europe, my gosh, Europe is fabulous. They're more intelligent. There's more, education, all of it. There's so much above us in society and everything.
right, they are, and they're like I said, they're just they like confidence. Like the Sweden guys are not really that confident. Like they're not really that not necessarily aggressive, but they're not just like making moves or like
It's interesting because you'd think Swedish are more like Vikings, like that they dominate and have taken over countries and such, but not anymore. They're gentle giants.
I feel like they're gentle giants. Yeah, like they're very yeah. When you start talking to Swedish girls, you could tell they're very intrigued by your just the fact that you're not afraid to talk to them.
That's amazing. That's really good advice for Canadian boys to go to Sweden and go, shoot your shot.
Canadian boys, if you're just going to Sweden or Finland or like even like London, England, it's like yeah, girls are like they like. It's weird because this just doesn't sound anything exotic to me or special, but to them it's like it's an accent,
Yeah, because we say a boot.
Yeah, but
do you make a point to say a at the end of a lot of your sentences too on tour?
No, but I do say you start to realize when you go to these places that they pointed out, hey, oh, you said hey. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
we don't realize how often we say hey. It's
No.
interesting being Canadian. It's weird. Like I feel like sometimes there's so much more opportunities in America, but Canadians are just in general. Even though there's like a lot of like people are miserable now and everybody's in a hurry and there's more assholes, but in general, I just feel like Canadians are the better people,
Well, I
just
think,
nicer.
probably has a lot to do with the fact that we can break our leg and go to Emerge for 3 hours and go home without paying a nickel, unless we have to pay for parking at the hospital or something. But, Americans, they got to be pretty stressed. Like you get cancer and you're bankrupt.
You sell your house. Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, it's I don't. It amazes me like how brainwashed they are, like in so many ways. Like they believe that their healthcare system that you should only the people that can afford it deserve it in a way, or they don't understand. Like everybody just if you just everybody had to pay a little bit more taxes, and then it would be this free health. But it's like, well, I don't want to wait. It's like, well, I'm sure there's a way around everything. I'm sure you guys could America has a lot of money, you know?
Yeah, the military budget is overwhelming.
Right. It's we can just you just don't buy one ship and it's like save a million people.
Yeah. Oh my God. I love that philosophy. That's a very nice Canadian philosophy to the military department in the States. Don't buy a ship, save a million people. I like that very much.
Yeah.
So I'm fascinated with the Greek culture. Obviously, I'm trying to marry one. Um, what's the Greek evil eye? Can you tell me this? Can you explain this to me? I saw a sketch with Angelo Sarukis, and he was talking about it, and I have no idea what he's talking about.
Right here. Do you see it?
Yeah.
My Thea bought me this one
Your
before I left
tia,
Greece.
just a grandma?
It's my aunt, my dad's sister,
Okay.
Thea Cristina. Um,
Shout out
so
to Tia.
yeah. Anyway, so a lot of Greeks believe in it. Some people Greeks like think it's just like it's like almost like a placebo. But what basically it is, it's apparently if someone is wishing something bad upon you or bad luck or sickness or something, this is supposed to see it, catches it, and stops it from you absorbing evil, whatever evil is out there. So it's almost like a cross, basically. But
So,
it's
like,
supposed to catch it.
the situation that I've been assumed to be the situation is I'm talking with a Greek woman and or I'm talking with her and I say to her, "Ooh, I like your skirt, but I really don't mean it." That's the evil that I'm sending to her that the evil eye can take off.
Yeah, go stop it. Whatever. It's almost like Staya. Whatever negativity is coming your way, it's like putting a force field around you and bouncing it off you. You know.
So this Greek boy that I'm trying to marry, he has a nephew that plays soccer, and what they do is they call grandma and have her do something with water to make him play better soccer. What is this?
What do you mean, like in the ocean? You mean, or like what do you
Oh,
mean?
like a cup of water or something, and then she drips something in the water and does a prayer or something.
Oh, maybe it's holy water. Is she putting like holy water in the water and just like splashing it on him?
No, he's playing soccer in the field and they're calling grandma at home and she's saying a little prayer or something and he plays better. And it works. Apparently after the call, the negative vibes go away.
Right. I think that would have to do more with the prayer than though maybe the water is part of the prayer, but the
Yeah,
fact
I
that
don't know.
I don't know about the water thing. I don't know
I'm
what she's doing.
fascinated with the Greek culture. I've been told you guys started philosophy. Obviously, Troy was very cool. You know,
Uh, a
Africa.
lot of a lot of different words are based from Greek culture, I think, also. And I heard this. You always hear weird facts. I found out that like Greeks are what was it? Apparently they invented plumbing. Do you know that?
Thank you for that. I
The
love plumbing.
plumbing. And there's this great story. I'll tell you this great story. There's this one island. So if you talk to any old Greek, they'll tell you this is true. I don't know if this is true 100%, but like when millions of Greeks will say this is true. So during World War II, the Nazis tried to evade. Was it Corfu or Crete? Crete. Crete's the biggest Greek island of all the Greek islands, and this is for sure true. It's the first time in history that an army tried to obtain landmass from the sky. So they were coming in from like parachutes. All these Nazi.
Hitler was.
Hitler was. Well, Hitler wasn't there, but Hitler's soldiers, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, so the Greeks just knew this shit was going down and saw these Nazis, these Germans coming from the sky, and the farmers just ran into the fields with like pitchforks or any kind of like weapon they could find. And as they were trying to land on the ground, he would stab them like as they're coming in. They would like stab them with pitchforks and kill them and beat the shit out of them. Like, so basically the Nazis were thinking that they were just going to land and everybody's going to put their hands up and that was that. But it took them like, I don't know if it was 2 weeks or 4 weeks or I don't know exactly how long, but it took them longer to able to control Crete. But what they had to do is relocate some ships to come there to help them, right? So ships started going. So what basically
sort of contain and get from all.
So put them behind. It put them in behind and dealing with other situations, which one of those situations is going into Russia. So them going into Russia. Now this, like I said, you have to. I can't prove that this is. I've never looked into this, read it into this, seeing if this is true. But old Greek people will tell this. So they went to. So then they go into Russia, but they go to Russia like 2 or 3 months later than they were going to because of dealing with the Greeks. That by the time they got far enough into Russia, like because the Russian soldiers apparently just were going back and pulling them into Russia and realizing that the cold winter was coming around the corner. So I think they just thought, okay, let's keep going back, like pull them in more. And then the winter hit, and then all these Nazi soldiers were just dying in the fields. They didn't even have to like kill them or go after them. They were just people they wanted to surrender. So basically, like
just from exposure from the winter.
Yeah, just exposure. I think they realized like, oh shit, they're fucked. They're not ready for the winter. So they just started purposely going back. You
think that the Germans would know about winter because it's cold in Germany too, right?
Well, here's the thing, here you got Hitler trying to take over like the world. Like, so there's a lot. They're like trying to control every country at once. So and like Hitler was definitely on fucking some type of speed and just he had that obviously that like I'm Hitler, like I'm
invincible.
Yeah, I'm not going to make a bad move.
Yeah.
Just so I don't think he definitely didn't see the bigger picture for someone that was trying to take over Earth.
Fascinating. Well, 300 has made us all love the Greek. We all love Sparta and all the wonderful stuff. Well, thank you for that Greek history lesson. I appreciate it. So we're also doing a bit on men's health. So just for science, I'm curious, what kind of underwear do you wear?
Boxer, not boxers, not the baggy ones, the normal ones.
The boxer briefs?
Yeah, boxer briefs. Yeah.
Do you have a brand?
Yeah, what do I wear? Hang on.
Oh my God. Manolis.
Joe Boxer?
Okay. Thank you for the underwear shot.
They're good enough. They're comfortable.
Wonderful. Joe Boxer. Okay, so you're getting all the support and all the comforts that you get from Joe Boxer.
Yeah, they're good enough. Yeah, I like them. Yeah.
Okay.
I can't handle the actual boxers. It's just I might as well not wear underwear at all at that point.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very loose. I can't even imagine. I'm
Yeah.
a tidy whitey granny panty girl myself. So,
That's all right.
um, what would you like your fans to know about what's happening next year? Your tours and your shows and anything happening?
Well, I might be okay. So I do have a new comedy album. It's like less than a year old. It's on Spotify. It's on all the platforms. But if you go to Spotify and just type in Manolis Zontanos, there's two comedy albums there. You can listen to either one. One's called Girl Penis, and the other one's called The Internet Took It. And yeah, check them out if you could. And then I don't know, in the new year, I'm working. There'll be a new show that's going to be on Bell Media that I'm in a lot. It's called Falconbridge is Falling Down. So it's this comedian Scott Falconbridge that works for Yuck Yucks. Good friend of mine, hilarious guy, very funny. I met him years ago, and when I first met him, he was definitely already a pro, but and I was just kind of like coming up, and back then, and still now, but back then, I remember this guy was like just nice to me, and he didn't like try to be like, oh, I can act a certain way because I'm here and you're here. He treated me like we're on the same page, and I never.
The same with me and the amateurs. You were nice to us when the pros thought that we were shit because we weren't funny.
Well, I mean, everybody would it takes sometimes you can be funny and it takes time to become funny. It's like you can be fun, you can make your friends laugh, but you got to do stand up for a bit to get comfortable, like having the confidence to deliver a funny idea on front of like 50 people or 100 people. I remember I was talking to what's his name? Fucking I can't think of his name right now. Fucking from St. John's. Maybe he'll come back to me. But his comic was just telling me that he was going to quit comedy. I told him he was doing a set. I saw him like, don't worry about this crowd. If you like it, just keep doing it. You're fine, bud. You're not getting paid. Fuck these guys. And he said that that's the only reason he was ready to quit that night, and he did. And he's like, he kills it now.
You see,
Luke.
Thank you,
Luke Lawrence.
Luke Lawrence, thank you for helping him and your kindness. That's necessary for us in the biz because we self-doubt, and then when we get criticism from others, my biggest thing walking in comedy is chicks aren't funny, and that was really hard to deal with. So your kindness and your sweetness is appreciated. Last desperate to talk about the last 5 minutes. Walk Off the Earth, how did you get in that music video? What happened? Like, are you just friends with Johnny, or what's the deal?
Yeah, just friends with Johnny. Oddly enough, so Johnny's Walk Off the Earth band, they were before they got like mainstream famous, they were doing things and making videos probably like at least 10, maybe longer, 15, 12 years prior to things blowing up for them. But I would see them at random shows and I would buy their CDs and talk to them. I was like, I definitely a fan, but also just being like
supportive.
Cool. Yeah, supportive and cool. I'd have conversations with him like years ago. And then he kind of blew up and he, I guess, remembered he's like comedians. He likes comedy, right? So, and he thinks I'm a funny guy. So he got a bunch of comedians that he likes to work on to be in the video. He decided to do that. And I'm like,
so how does that happen? Like, you guys just all went to somebody's grandma's basement that day kind of thing? Like, you have quite a few comics showing up.
Yeah, it was a place downtown Hamilton up by the water that we rented to make it look like that. But yeah, it was a cool concept. Those guys, I mean, his work ethic, and he's just, that guy is so fucking talented. Like I find him
his wife is so lovely, Sarah Blackwell. Oh, I adore her.
She holds herself very well. Like, she's really good at dealing with the media and talking to people, and she's her
They
voice
have
is
a
like
Hellman's
so,
commercial out right now. She's looking in the fridge for a Hellman's, make dinner campaign.
I
They're
didn't know that.
killing it. They're doing so well. And I
Yeah.
love seeing you in the music video. You had a fun time?
Oh yeah, I had a lot of fun. There's oh yeah, this is what I would say. What's really interesting about him, I'll be like say absinthe or maybe some bar like that. We have mutual friends and he comes out once in a blue moon and he has his hair, he's got that long hair.
Yes.
He puts it all up in like a thing and he puts a toque on so you can't even see his hair. He doesn't look like he has long hair. So why he does it, I've never talked to him about this, but it's pretty obvious that because he does not look like the same person anymore. So people, the general public, just don't recognize him as often.
His alter ego, if you will.
Yeah, and I love them. I love this guy. I love it. Like for me, I've never been famous. I've been like, hey, you're that comedian guy. That's about it, right? But it's like, but I'd like I don't know if I would. I think I'd want the attention. I think I'd want people.
We all do, Manolis.
Right?
Be honest.
Like you're so funny. Oh, tell me more. You know what I mean? But this guy just wants to go out and hang out with his friends and not.
Oh, that's amazing.
Not interrupt the evening festivities. You know.
I love it. Okay, so to finish this off, can you tell me how to say "I love Newsload" in Greek?
I love
Newsload.
I don't know Newsload, but I asagapo.
Asagapo.
Asagapo means I love you.
Asagapo.
Sagapo.
Sagapo.
Yeah. I don't know how to say news load in Greek though. I'm sorry.
Okay, so we're gonna say Asagapo Newsload.
Sagapo news load. Yeah, there you go.
And just to find it off, say I love Newsload in English.
I love Newsload. I love Newsload. I love it. I love Newsload.
Your load is coming.
I love loads. And I love news and I love news loads.
Manolis, I love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a beautiful day and talk later.
Yeah, we'll talk soon. I love you.
Bye.
Bye.
This is the Newsload.